All right, the race here today is coming from Hungaroring. This is the Weekend Warriors Spec Ford Racer Series, and we do a rolling start with this series. So we're starting 15th here. Do a nice big burnout here. Try to get the rear tires hot. Uh, Left a little bit too much gap to the car in front of me here. So I got to try to quickly close up this gap because we're gonna get the green by the time we're probably going through this last 180 return coming up right here. This is when the green flag is probably gonna fly. So we got to try to close up as quickly as we can here. And the green has come out right about now, I believe. Somebody commenting that the pace lap was really quick. The leaders were uh, hustling it a bit, which I think was actually good because it kept us from getting bottled up. A little bit of shuffling around. I had to lift a little bit going through here, and this gives this 327 car, that black car, he gets a good run there. I lifted a little because I didn't want my car to drift wide um, through that right-hander. So now he gets a little closer up next to me. Took a little bit of a peek there. The 51 car in front of us and the I don't know his numbers, Alan McCain in the black, white, and orange car there. Um, Kind of battling for position a little bit there. I take a look up the inside here. I wasn't quite close enough to get it done. Kind of clips towards the apex there, sort of slamming the door. Under braking here, get pretty aggressive and move to the inside there and make that work. So I was pretty far back. Um, and so normally you'd be up next to somebody to make this move, but I don't know. I had a sense that he might break a little too early. I noticed he was kind of close to the car in front of him and hadn't pulled out, which meant he basically has to do whatever the guy in front of him does. Uh, so I decided, like, these guys are kind of close, and so since the 51 car wasn't going to challenge, might as well challenge. Otherwise, I'm going to have to break however much these guys want to break. And I just felt like they were going to break earlier, or they had already started breaking early. My braking marker is basically there's a light gray patch right here, and there's a white line right there. I try to break right between those. So right almost at my braking marker, decided, let's do this. Um, you can see we're at 80% brake here. Let me back this up slowly. Uh, so actually started coming on the brake a little bit early. And so I think what we saw, we can probably flip it around to cockpit view. Let's see when the car in front of us brakes. So he braked right about the normal marker, it looks like. Maybe slightly early. Yeah, he braked before he even got to that light gray part. I kind of brake a little bit after that. So I noticed he's braking a little bit early and um, decided why not. Jump to the inside. get to the apex, get back on the throttle. He has a little bit wider exit and was able to pull that off. And I just stuck to the racing line. Most people would probably go defensive right there, but I just stayed on the racing line and entered this turn normally because it's kind of hard to race side by side through there. So I just didn't feel like he was probably going to challenge uh, going in there. So at this point, we have about 2.5 seconds, 2 seconds or so up to the 212 car in front of us. Now we've started to close it down a little bit. It's probably about 1.8 seconds. There's a little wiggle that was going on there, but I'll go back to it in a minute. So we get the pass pulled off from the inside and then lose it right here. And get back on it. Uh, let's go ahead and back up and we'll go through uh, this a bit here. Okay, so maybe we'll go chase. I think I can hit button here to cause the controls to come up. Nope. All right. So we'll go. So right here, uh, you would basically want your tires to be over this curb. So he kind of misses the apex by almost a car width. Uh, I could have been slightly more to the inside had my left tires up on top of the red and white higher part of the curb or on top of the cement. But he was, car in front of me was a lane here was almost a car width away from the apex there. And this will become important in a second. This turn you kind of want a late apex, meaning get closer to the inside of the turn later. Um, so let's roll it forward slowly. So again, he missed the apex. Car in front of me missed the apex because I was on it late enough to have the car basically straightened out to not drift wide. The trouble here in this turn is drifting too wide. That's where you got to get most of your turning done because basically it feels like the track tightens up on exit right here. So that's the challenge. So again, he's a car width or more, car and a half off of the apex. So now I have a ton more speed coming through here. I'm doing 71, so I'm behind him and he's doing 66. So he's farther along coming out of this turn. He should be going faster than me, but he's not. He's going slower. Um, so it's only 5 miles an hour here. But if we uh, go for it now, I'm doing 73, and that's where he was doing 66. So it's about a 7 mile an hour difference right here. The problem is I don't know which way he's going to go. I'm approaching his back bumper really quickly. And what do I do? Do I go left and hope he doesn't also kind of stay on that curb? Do I yank it right? I'm not quite sure what he's going to do. Um, so I got a ton of speed and I'm quickly approaching the back of the car, but where do I use it? And so I end up having to hit the brakes because I'm not quite sure what he's going to do. I should have just yanked it right, uh, but I wasn't quite sure. And so that's my point. Um, so I lost all my momentum right there. So again here, uh, that time we made it through pretty evenly. I'm doing 89 miles an hour right here. He's doing 87, so we got a little bit better exit. So we're behind him, he's accelerating, and we still have 2 miles an hour. So probably have actually like 3 miles an hour on him right here at this point. So again, we can look at this real quick. 96 to 94. Um, so it's just a tiny speed difference. This time I do pull to the inside. And so this corner is kind of tricky, also sort of tightens on exit. You can use the inside curbing. It is kind of a 90-degree turn, pretty close to 90 degrees. Um, so he sort of doesn't want to challenge going through there, sees that I got the inside and go ahead and gives it to me, and maybe he's looking for me to like overshoot it or make a mistake on exit or something. I kind of slide the rear end, but don't make that mistake. Now we come in here, and this is where we lose it. So normally I would arc it in from farther on the right side, but I was thinking about what just happened I don't know, I should have swung farther to the right. I should have been almost onto these red and white curves over here, and I wasn't. So now when we come up here, I got to get my braking done. I'm at like 70-ish% braking, kind of going in a straight line. The front is just not turning. Uh, I'm having the rear end's already starting to slide. You can see I'm turning to the right in a left-hand turn because I can feel the rear end going. Uh, so I'm already losing the thing, and it's too late. Uh, Super hard to try to catch that there. I'm not sure what gear we're in right here, but I think what probably happened was the downshift. So we're in fourth, and we downshift there. I'm on a brake, and it's gone. I can feel it. It's gone. Um, so now it's just a matter of quickly trying to get the thing going again, and find the right gear. Stay to the outside to not get um, hit by these cars that are uh, on the racing line or close to the racing line. So they got to try to avoid me. And there's two of them. I'm trying to get up to speed as quick as I can. So I got one sorted to the outside. Switch cameras so you can see that. So I got one sorted to the outside here and dealing with that. So I got the close to the racing line on the inside. He's got kind of a wider thing, but he gets a good run on the exit here. And I don't want to pull in front of him because I don't know exactly where he is to my corner, right rear corner there. And also I'd prefer a defensive line going into one. So then, did we go over this already? I think we did. Braking markers between these two. So we outbrake going into here. Just decide to go for it. And that's that. So let's see what it looked like from in the car here. So you can see with that draft and the run he got coming off that turn. But then he's got to start getting on the brakes. I leave my braking really, really late. And I was sliding some tires coming in. Uh, and lost it. So if we look at, let's look at maybe the right front. Where's the right front? Do I have a right front camera anymore? Oh, weird. Oh, there it is. I'm blind. So we'll slow this way down. At some point we start locking up tires here, probably. Nope, we're still rolling on the tires. Oh, but now I'm turning to the left to catch the rear end. So if we look at the left rear, back this up slightly. All right, we'll go super slow. So we're at like quarter speed, 8th speed, coming in here. And I'm out of the brake and out of the throttle. I should have kept a little bit of throttle. So the engine braking, it's slowing the compression of the engine is forcing these rear tires to slow down because it's a rear drive car, um, uh, rear wheel drive, and so it's causing these rear tires to slow down more than the front tires are slowing down. Right here, at this moment, I'm still partially on the throttle, um, but I'm already turning to the left because I'm already losing it. So at this moment, I'm turning to the right still on the brake, but I should be giving it a tiny bit of throttle, like 5% or something minimal right here. And because I didn't, those rears locked and started sliding just that little bit, kept sliding, and uh, now we're in for it. So we're crossed up, lose a rear end. These guys avoid. I'm trying to figure out what the heck to do because I got all these cars coming at me, and there's not really much I can do. I can't really disappear, um, and so I get head on with this guy. It's not really his fault. Like other cars avoided, but he was unable to. And now we're just sort of along for the ride. Get hit by somebody else. Um, so unfortunate, but that's what happened. So lots of people uh, got involved. Well, so that was our race. We ended up finishing 34th, one lap down. Our laps, interestingly, our first lap was a 209, second lap was a 204. So I'm a little bit surprised by. I guess we're just having to lift for different people, different places, and I don't know. I would have thought that second lap would have been faster. I'm not quite sure why that was slow. And then this is the third lap where we had this wreck. And so, anyway, we get the car fixed, come back out, uh, basically doing 2 minute flats. Best lap was a 2 minute .220, and most of the laps were that time. Um this was lap 17, I think, was when I came into fuel, and then I got an off track. I got too many penalties from these incidents and a couple of off tracks that I passed the 12 incident limit that's for this series, and so I had to come in and do a drive-through penalty. I just drove through the pit lane, and I wanted to do that before the race ended. So that's that. That's where we ended up. Thanks for watching. Uh, Unfortunately, we had some driver errors and some wrecking. I feel bad for the other guys involved, uh, but it was fun. First couple of laps, at least, were lots of fun. We'll try to do better.